Hello UPSC aspirants, welcome to GetintoIAS. In the last session, we have dealt with lots of problems on percentages. Also, we have learned so many tricks in that. In this session, we are going to learn ratio and proportion. In that, today we are going to discuss about the subtopics, definition of ratio and proportion, properties with examples, types of ratios, each with examples, and basic problems on ratios. Let's move into the topic. The first one, definition. Definition of ratio. A ratio is how many times bigger one thing than the other. Say for example, one number will be given, then the next number is how many times than the first number. It may be greater or lesser, whatever it is. Let's go through with an example. Say for example, 30 is to 90. Two numbers are given here. Now you need to find how many times 30 from 90 or how many times 90 out of this 30. For that, we will be cancelling this with any value which is divisible in both the numbers. Here you can take 10 or 3. These two numbers are divisible in both the values. So first I can take 10. How many times? 3 times 10 is 30. Here 9 times 10 is 90. Again I can divide it with 3 being the common value over here. Here 3 times, here 1 time. Finally I got 1:3. Initially what was the number? 30 and 90. 30 is simply one part and 90 is 3 parts. That is the meaning of ratio. The next one is proportion. A proportion is simply a statement that two ratios are equal. It can be written in two ways. That is, a proportion is when it is said to be two ratios are equal. It has two forms, as equal fractions or as equal ratios. Say for example, 5/7. This is a fraction which is equal to 20/28. Yes, if you cancel this, you will be getting again 5/7. So these two fractions are equal. Similarly, any fraction can be written in the form of ratios. How? 5/7 can also be written as 5:7. So this is equal to 20:28. Now, this form of equal ratios is said to be a proportion. You want to read it 5:7, which is equal to 20:28. The first term and the last term, which is said to be the extremes. The middle part, two parts, together called as means. So, in a proportion, always the product of extremes will be equal to the product of means always. That is the rule behind any proportion. So simply 5 into 28 will be equal to 7 into 20. So 5 into 28 is 140. Also 7 into 20 is going to be 140. That's it. Names are given to the terms of ratio. Generally, you can see the ratio like this form. This is called the first term and this is known as the second term. Always the first term of the ratio is said to be antecedent and the second term is said to be consequent. So, whenever if you are doing any calculation with this antecedent and consequent, the operations allowed here are multiplication and division. That is what you are doing in the fraction. The same operation is eligible for this ratio also. So first 3:5 is here. First I am going to multiply these things with 100. Whenever I am multiplying the antecedent with any number, the same process to be done with the consequent in order to maintain the ratio. That is the rule over here. So 3 into 100 is 300 and 5 into 100 is 500. Now you can divide anything, any number which is commonly divisible in both the terms. So simply I am taking 25. Everyone knows 25 is 4 times presented in 100, 4 into 3, 12 times. The same 5 into 4, 20 times. So I have cancelled it with 25. Again 4 table can be taken for common 3 times, here 5 times. Finally I got 3:5. Always this 3:5 is said to be the prime ratio. So the value prime ratio will not change after doing any multiplication or division. Whatever the process you have done, the final ratio remains same, and this is known as the prime ratio. Properties of ratio. The first property of ratio is the ratio has the same properties of the fraction as reduction, simplifying and comparison. As we discussed earlier, it also have the same properties of fraction, that is multiplication and division can be done with the numerator and denominator. Here we are making with the antecedent and subsequent. So here find the ratio between 15 and 40. So here this is known as the antecedent and here 40 is the consequent. You can do any operation over here. It is commonly divisible with 5. So here I am taking divided by 5, divided by 5. So here 3 times 5, here 8 times 5. The prime ratio over here is 3:8 and that is my answer for this. The next one is property 2. The two terms of the ratio should be two whole numbers always. Look at the example 1 4/5 which is given in the form of mixed fraction. 2 is 0.7, that is decimal value. So you need to first convert these two values into the whole numbers, then you can say what is the ratio for that. Let's do it. 1 into 5 which is 5, 5 plus 4 which is 9, 9 by 5 which is the equivalent improper fraction for the mixed fraction is to 2.7. One is in the form of fraction, another one is in the form of decimal value. So converting this fraction into decimal value, 9 divided by 5, how many times? 1 time. 9 is 1 time 5 is 5, carry over 4, 0. Point is to be taken, 8 into 5, 40, 1.8. Now I am taking 1.8 instead of 9 by 5, ratio 2.7. Now in order to make the whole number from the decimal number, how many points we need to move? That is 1 point here, 1 point here. For this 1 point you want to take the 10 value, that is 10. While multiplying the consequent with 10, antecedent also to be multiplied with 10. As soon as you multiply with 10, you will be getting 18 over here, 27 over here. Now, in order to get the ratio, final ratio, that is prime ratio, you want to divide it with the common number which is divisible in both the values. So, here 18, here 27 is given. So, 9 is divisible in both the values. Finally, my answer is 2 times 9 and 3 times 9. Final answer is 2:3. Property 3. When comparing two quantities to form the ratio between them, they should have the same units. Let's understand this with the small examples. The first example, find the ratio between 320 grams and 0.8 kilograms. One unit is given in terms of grams and another is given in terms of kilogram. So how to solve it? First you want to convert into same units. So first I am taking this 0.8 kg into grams, that is equal to 800 grams. Now let's solve it. 320 grams ratio 800 grams. Now grams get cancelled, 0 get cancelled, 32 and 80 will be divisible in 8. So 4 times 8, here 10 times, again we can take 2 times, here 5 times. The final ratio is 2:5. Then the next example, find the ratio between 6 hours and 90 minutes. This is also similar to the previous one. Here the first unit is given in terms of hours. second one is given in terms of minutes. So first I am converting 6 hours into minutes. 6 hours equal to 6 into 60 minutes, because 1 hour consists of 60 minutes, right? So 360 minutes is the antecedent and the consequent is 90 minutes. So both the units are same. Now you can proceed. 0, 0 cancelled. Divided by 9, this is 4 times and this is 1 time. The final ratio for this is 4:1. Types of ratios. The first one is compound ratio or mixed ratio. That is, you can take two ratio and you can take the product of their antecedent and product of their consequent. The final resulting ratio is known as the compound ratio. Say for example, ratio 1 is which is given m is to 9. Ratio 2 which is given p is to q. Finally, the compound ratio is, this is antecedent, right? This is consequent. Take the two antecedent property over here, m into p. Take the two consequents, n into q. Finally, the result is mp is to nq. Compound means product, that's all. While taking the product, you want to multiply the antecedent with each other and the consequent with each other. That's all. The next one, duplicate ratio. Compound ratio of two equal ratio. In case of mixed ratio, we have taken two values which may equal or may not be, which may be or may not be equal to each other. But here, while taking the two antecedents which are equal to each other, that is known as the duplicate ratio. Say for example, what is the duplicate ratio of 2:3? Finally, my answer is 2 square is to 3 square. That is 2 into 2, 4. 3 into 3, 9. So 4:9 is the duplicate ratio of 2:3. The next one, triplicate ratio. Compound ratio of three equal ratios, that is cube value of the antecedent, also the cube value of the consequent, which is known as the triplicate ratio. Say for example, 4:5 is given. My answer is 4 cube is to 5 cube. That is 4 cube is 64 and 5 cube is 125. So finally, 4:5 and 64:125. What is the relationship? 64:125 is the triplicate ratio of 4:5. That's all. The next ratio is subduplicate ratio, which is nothing but you want to take the square root of the antecedent as well for the consequent. Say for example, 9:16. The first part is antecedent, second part is consequent. So what is the subduplicate ratio of this is simply the square root of 9 is to the square root of 16. What is square root of 9? That is going to be the 3. Square root of 16 is going to be the 4. 3:4, which is the subduplicate ratio of 9:16. The next one, subtriplicate ratio. This is similar to that subduplicate. Here we have taken square root. Here we are going to take cube root. So here, say for example, 3:4:3 ratio 512, which is given, and you need to find the subtriplicate ratio of this. Finally, you want to take the cube root of 3:4:3 is to cube root of 512. Everyone knows that 7 cube is 343 and 8 cube is 512. So 7:8 is the subtriplicate ratio of 343:512. The next one, reciprocal ratio or inverse ratio. Say for example, 4:5, which is given, and they are asking you to find the reciprocal ratio. Reciprocal ratio means what? From the word itself we can say that reciprocal means simply you want to write the reciprocal value, that is 4's reciprocal is 1/4 and 1/4's reciprocal is 4, vice versa. Here 4, from that we have arrived 1/4. Ratio 5. What is the reciprocal of 5? 1/5. This is the first step of reciprocal ratio. What is the next step? Always the terms of the ratio must be whole numbers in order to make these fractions whole number, what is to be done? Simply you want to cancel the denominator. In order to cancel this denominator part, first I want to multiply the term with 4. What is the multiplication value? That is to be done with the consequent also. Don't forget to do that. Now we are going to do that. Now, as soon as we got the reciprocal ratio of 4 and 5, we got 1 is 1 by 4 here, 1 by 5 here. In order to cancel this denominator part, first multiply with 4. What is the value we have taken? What is the process? The same want to be done with the consequent also. As soon as you get this, you can get rid of the denominator here. Similarly, in order to get rid of the 5 over here, simply you want to multiply 5 with the consequent and antecedent over here. As soon as you take this, it will get cancelled. Finally, my result is 1 into 5 is 5 and 1 into 4 is 4. 5 is to 4 is the inverse or reciprocal ratio of 4 is to 5. Simply, we can say that 4 is to 5 have turned into 5 is to 4. So, this process is not required. For conceptual based, I have explained. So, whenever you are going through these kinds of questions, inverse ratio, 4 is to 5 can be written as 5 is to 4. That's all. The next type of ratio is ratio of equalities. This is simple. When the antecedent which is equal to the consequent, say for example 5 is to 5, which is said to be the ratio of equalities because both the values are equal. That's all. The next one, ratio of inequalities. In the two types, ratio of greater inequalities, ratio of lesser inequalities. Greater means antecedent will be greater than the consequent, that is 3 is to 2. Here the antecedent is greater, so it is called as ratio of greater inequalities. Ratio of lesser inequalities, the antecedent will be the lesser one. This is the example for that. In most of the cases, ratio may be found in 2 terms, but in some other cases, there will be 3 variables. Say for example, A is to B is to C, like that you can expect questions. For that, they may give A is to B is 2 is to 3 and B is to C is 3 is to 5, like that. They will be giving these things and they want to answer you for A is to B is to C. In such a case, how to arrive at the final answer? That thing we are going to discuss now. A is to B is 2 is to 3. So, simply write down A is to B is 2 is to 3. That is the first thing. Second thing, B presented here and B's value is 3 over here, same value here. So, we can say that B is to C is 3 is to 5. Like that you can write. Now, finally, you can arrive at A is 2 and B is 3 because both are same. Then C is 5. Finally, the ratio between A is to B is to C is 2 is to 3 is to 5. Only you can follow this rule when the connector is presented in the question. That is the first condition. The second condition, whether there is same value is given to the connector. Let's see 2 more examples for this. Find A is to B is to C when A is to B is 5 is to 7 and B is to C is 7 is to 2. Now, can you find A is to B is to C? First condition, connector. Where is the connector? B is the connector between A and C. Satisfied, connector is there? Yes. Same value, whether same value for the connector, B is equal to 7 here also B is equal to 7. The second condition also satisfied. Now simply we can say A is to B is to C. Pick up the value of A, that is 5. What is the value for B? 7. What is the value for C? 2. And that is the answer. Then type 2, only the connector will be presented and same value will not be given. In such a case, how to arrive at the answer? This is of case 2. Find A is to B is to C when A is to B is equal to 3 is to 2 and B is to C is 3 is to 5. The first step, connector. Connector is presented, that is B, correct? Yes, first condition satisfied. What about the same value? In first case, B is equal to 2. In second case, B is equal to 3. In such a case, how to deal with the question. Simply you want to take the LCM of both the values 2 and 3. LCM of 2 and 3 is simply going to be 6 because these two are co-primes to each other. So simply take the product 2 into 3, that is 6. That's all. LCM is 6. Now the next step is to make B is equal to 6 in both the cases. So here B's value is 2 over here. This 2 is to be converted into 6. Here B's value is 3, that is to be converted into 6. For that, in the first equation I am multiplying this 2 with 3, and in the second one I am multiplying this 3 with 2. So for that you want to convert every terms in that. So the new ratio will become what? 3 into 3, which is going to be 9. Simply I am writing 9. 3 into 2, which is going to be 6, that is our desired value. Then here B is to C is 3 is to 5. 3 into 2, which is going to be 6. I am simply writing 5 into 2, which is going to be 10. Like that you can first convert the values. Now the final step is simply you can say what is A is to B is to C. A is 9, B is 6 in both the cases, then C is equal to 10. That's all. Finally my answer is 9 is to 6 is to 10. Further we can't cancel. Why? Because these two terms are cancelled in 3 table, not this one. Finally 9 is to 6 is to 10 is the answer. The introduction part of ratio and proportion got over. The basic model sums will be discussed in the next video of ratio and proportion. Please subscribe our channel for more upcoming videos. Thanks for watching.